Hello everyone, how you doing? Welcome back to Train Sim World 5 and another video in the series that we're calling Looking Back. And in this series we're going back, looking over the various different TSW DLCs we've had over the years, hoping there's a few of them you may not have played for a long time, or if you're a new player you may not have seen them before and you might be interested in them, and we'll have a look at them and see what we think. And we're on the London Commuter today for this one, driving the 387 Gatwick Express from London Victoria down to Gatwick, about a half-hour service. This is a good route, this one. This actually goes from London Victoria all the way down to Brighton, which is why it's also sometimes called the Brighton Mainline. There's a lot to do on this one. There's a lot of included stock, and, well, shall we just take a look? We don't want too much talking, do we? Let's come out the photo mode. Let's get everything set up the way that we want to, first of all. So let me just get my cursor back. There we go. Right, so master key on first. Put it into forward. We'll open the doors so everybody can start getting on. We've got the headlights up here, which we'll put to day running. There we go. Let's pop out the seat and put the safety systems on, because we always rock with the safety systems on this channel, as you know. So we've got the vigilance, the DSD, then we have got the AWS, which I think is this last one. There it is. Let's acknowledge that. There's a 377 coming in, as you can see on the other side. So we'll go stock spotting as we go, and if we see any stock that doesn't come as part of the route, I will also let you know what that is. But London Victoria, there's a few things in and out. There's a 465 over there, which is a DLC actually for the Southeastern High Speeds. That's definitely not part of this route, but it does layer in, as you can see. We've got 377s in the Southern livery everywhere. But this one's great. Look at this. You know I like red. I like red and I like yellow. You've seen the channel colours often enough. So this one's right up my street, this. And look at the detailing. Look at all the you know, the insect splats, let's call them, on the front. This is 387213, and we're going to get ready to go quite soon. We'll nip outside actually for the doors closing. We'll go through the usual gubbins on Steam once we get out of London. And let's go back into the cab. We're straight through to Gatwick. It's a straight service. No stops anywhere. I'm playing this on the PC, by the way, for the first time. Usually I'm on PS5 for this one. That's why I'm getting all those warnings coming up about the points, but that's fine. So we'll leave Victoria. We'll head through the various points on the way down. I'm already speeding. Look, that's not good. This is one of these EMUs where, you know, I call it rip and roar. You just get your finger down on the throttle and you're away before you know it. They're quite rapid, these ones. Right, out we go from Victoria. You'll see the Battersea Power Station right there. Which actually, if you complete the mastery challenges on this route, you get a really nice mastery tile which lights up the towers there. The power station, all in sort of like you know, fluorescent lights, like Christmas type lights, you know, all sorts of lighting. It's really nice. So if you do night services, the power station looks pretty impressive. That's just one of the sites on this route. There's plenty. So we'll just nip outside, shall we? We've got a 377 coming up behind us there. We can accelerate to 40, so let's do that. Ample opportunities here for screenshots, as you'll see from the thumbnail that I'll be putting on this video. I did take one a little bit earlier. And of course now, with TSW5, you can also change in the photo modes. You can do all the different seasons and the weather. So if you don't like the default weather that you're seeing right here, that's a good shot. Then you can change that now in the photo mode. Oh, look at this. You see what I mean? It's a great route for traffic. It really is. He's going to stop now. He's put all that effort in to get past me, and he's going to stop anyway. So just make sure we stick to the rules, shall we? So we are doing 20 odd miles down to Gatwick, but the route itself is about 50 miles all the way down to Brighton. And don't forget, the other thing that we're going to be able to do now is if you do run this all the way down to Brighton and you've got the East Causeway route, once you get into Brighton, you'll be able to route hop and then, I don't know, take a trip up to Eastbourne on the East Causeway. So you can potentially spend a lot of time down this end of the country now due to that. It seems like with TSW5 it's all coming together from that perspective. These routes are now joining up. But I'm going to open the Steam page. If I can grab my mouse back, and we'll take a look at what it says. So it's actually called the Brighton Mainline, London Victoria, Brighton route. That's what it's called. You can buy it on the store, obviously still. This came out with, I want to say, it was one of the rush hour routes. So it's been out a couple of years. It had a couple of issues when it came out, scenery-wise, etc. They fixed all that. I'm not aware of any major issues on this. If you know any, drop it in the comments below. I think this is a widely enjoyed route by many players. But again, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the gubbins. And it says experience one of Britain's busiest main lines from the nation's capital to England's oldest coastal destination via the international hub of Gatwick Airport. Whether Southern Commuter or Gatwick Express, a flurry of passengers await in Train Sim World rush hour. Yeah, there you go. London Commuter. So it was we didn't get a new TSW that year. We got rush hour. So it was still a bundle of 3 routes. This was the UK route that came out as part of that bundle. So some of us have been playing that for at least a couple of years. Dating back to the 1840s, the Brighton Mainline is a major trunk route in the south of England, originating from London Victoria and passing through the likes of Clapham Junction and East Croydon. The route is the core of the Southern Commuter network, with dozens of services every hour. Before making its way to Brighton, the line passes Gatwick Airport, as we'll see, a key international hub that is served additionally with its own express services running throughout the day, and this is one of them. Let's make sure I'm not speeding while I'm reading this out. Let's just take it down a little notch. There we go. It's your job to be in control of the many services on this line. Hurry commuters from the South London suburbs and East Sussex into the heart of the city and feel the rush of non-stop services for seaside goers and international travellers, all with the modern Southern BR Class 377/4, which we've seen going past us many times already. And this one, the Gatwick Express BR Class 387/2. Choose how you want to play, drive trains, ride around as a passenger, complete the route tasks, or simply pick a vantage point and watch the action unfold. Create your own experiences with the scenario planner and livery designer. Whatever you choose to do, there's lots to see and experience on this route. I will agree with that, to be honest. I'm just impressed with the amount of traffic. Apart from the 465, every piece of traffic you've seen so far is what comes with the route. If you're new to Train Sim World, you will have seen the 377 on the new West Coast Mainline South route that has come out as part of Train Sim World 5, but the 377's been around on a couple of routes for quite some time, this being one of them. So we're quite used to it by now. and we'll look at the key features, which are a 50-mile or 80-kilometre main line from London Victoria to Brighton, additionally including the slow lines via Redhill and the Reigate branch. I think the Reigate branch was added a little bit later, I want to say. I don't think that was available when it first released. I could be wrong, it's been quite a while. But anyway, it's in there, the Reigate branch is in there. It includes the BR Class 377/4 in Southern livery and the BR Class 387/2 in Gatwick Express livery. It's a highly detailed, feature-rich driving cabs with accurate true-to-life performance and handling. There's a journey mode, as usual, with over 24 hours of activities for you to master, training modules, 5 scenarios, 24-hour timetable. This is a morning service we're doing, which was, I think, was it 8:58 out of Victoria, this one. It was. There's a selection of route tasks, if that's your thing. And, of course, livery designer and scenario planner compatible. So, yeah, there is a lot packed into this one. As I said right at the beginning, it's always been a bit of a favourite of mine. You can easily spend a couple of hours. It's a 50-mile route, but I'll be honest, if you're going all the way from Victoria down to Brighton, it seems longer than that. It really does. But it's a great trip. It is. It's a great trip down there. And of course, if you've got some of the other DLCs in Train Sim World, they do layer on here as well. So, the 465, the 166 from Great Western Express has got some short services. You can do freight services in the Class 66. You can also do services in the Rail Operations Group Class 37, which is another good DLC. It's recent-ish, that DLC, so we will get to that as part of this series eventually, but it might take us a while because we've got a lot to get through. But that's one of my favourites as well. So, you know, even just on its own, the route itself has got plenty to do, but as with all these routes as we're seeing these days, all the DLCs you already own provide that bit extra, and you can soon pack out the route. So hopefully there's a bit of something here for everybody. And by the way, if you have been playing this for quite some time, don't forget to leave me a comment. Let me know where does this rank in the DLCs that you've got. I've seen people saying this is their favourite route in the game. It is quite popular. And also, let me know if anything's missing from this route. If you live around this area or you use this route quite often, I don't, because I'm from the north, obviously. Let me know. How does it stack up against the real thing? I'd love to take a trip from London to Brighton on this route. I might actually do that at some point, you know. Right, we've got a 60 coming up. Let's get the brakes on slightly. 60, then a 45. So we'll just slope for the 60 into this platform. The other thing as well is that there's a lot of stations on this route. And now, of course, if I'm going through here and I'm not familiar with the route, I could just do this. I can zoom in and hover over there, and it tells me this is Selhurst. So that's a TSW5 feature that I've been using more and more in these last few weeks since it was released, because quite often some of these routes are quite long, and if you've no local knowledge, it's difficult to know exactly where you are. But the map now helps with the route learning. Look at this. This is great. This, isn't it? All this AI driving past. This timetable actually had an update after release. It's one of the famous Joe timetables, this one, as I recall. And Joe works for DTG, and he's a stickler for good timetables and packed out timetables, and he did an overhaul of this timetable. and absolutely packed it out. I can't tell you how many services there actually are now in totality, but there's a lot, and there's a lot of traffic. And if we just have a look here, we can see we're at East Croydon. This is East Croydon. And after this yellow, oh, it's just turned to a double yellow, so we're okay for now. Let's just cruise slowly through the station, shall we? Because we've got a yellow here, and then we've got a red not long after. Of course, we got the onboard information system there as well, on the sides and also inside the actual train itself, scrolling along. Let's have a look back at East Croydon. I think we've got a 12 car. Of course, up here on the screen, it gives you the layout there of the train. We've got 12 cars there. Let's take a look at the view screen, shall we, just whilst we've got just yellows in front of us. So, on the PC... Oh, no. View screen is what I want to do. Wait, my mouse is playing up once again. Let me sort this out. Right, let me try again. That's what I wanted. So yes, you can. There's various things you can do on here. You can also change the information system, so you can. It's set for us automatically to Gatwick Airport, but you can change your destination by just moving up and down with these screens, and it will change it on the front of the train, etc. So you can do that. That's customizable. But yeah, as soon as you jump in, it knows where you're going, so it will automatically set it for you. But there is that functionality there. I do wish some of these screens were in use, and of course the GSMR, I wish that was in use. I have a feeling that certainly the GSMR functionality will suddenly kick in, because there's a lot of trains that we've got with the GSMR fitted. Some of them, like this one, I don't think this one works at all, does it? I don't think it's gonna. If I press that, it's gonna make me open the door. So I'm not gonna press it. But there's, I mean, it's in darkness there, so I don't think we can use that at once. So some of them are completely dead, and some of them, you know, come up automatically with the service name, and you can do a self test and all that kind of thing. But the wide functionality of the GSMR isn't implemented yet, and I hope there's going to be some, I don't know, some fix for that, or some development. It's probably a development, not a fix, that comes in and automatically enables that for all the trains and locals that we've already got the GSMR sat there for. That'd be good. It's one of the things I like on the Armstrong Powerhouse stuff for TS Classic. A lot of those have got a working GSMR, and really, you know, at the beginning, all you do is type in your service name and your starting signal. It doesn't do much other than that, but it adds to the immersion of getting the train ready to depart. So it's quite good in that respect. So we've got 13 miles down to Gatwick. We've got a few yellows here that we're chasing. I don't know if we've got somebody in front of us, which is possible. Let's make sure we don't spad, I think. I'll just take the power off for now. But yeah, the 387, quite a nice modern cab inside. It's one of the letterbox type format driver's positions, but it is actually, with this side window, it is actually quite light and airy. And then you've got the window you can drop down as well and put back up. That's at both sides. So depending how you play, if you want it a little bit noisier, you can have the window down. But yeah, it's very nice to drive. It's very simple to drive as well, I will say. There's the horn. I know we always like a bit of horn on these. That seemed a little bit better than the Class 52 horn that we listened to on the last Looking Back episode. Lots of you commented on that to say that the horn seemed underpowered, but then I did have a couple of comments saying no, that's what the horn on the 52 actually sounds like. So I don't know. I don't recall seeing a 52. I don't think I've seen one. Not up north. But thanks for all the comments. Not just on these Looking Back videos, but on all the videos. It definitely helps steer what new content to make. Once I know what you guys like to watch, then it's easier for me to put things together. So, yeah, do comment. And do give me a like, of course. That goes without saying. 10 miles to Gatwick, which we will cover quite quickly. I'm tempted to go up to the full 90 miles per hour, but we're still chasing these yellows, so somebody's in front of us, I think. I think if you're new to TSW 5, by the way, and you're watching these videos and you're looking at all the old stuff, you must be thinking, oh, my poor wallet is going to suffer with this. You'd be right. I don't think there's any train simulator that you can do on the cheap. So, you know, my advice is you know, the sales are pretty regular. You know, if there's a lot of stuff that you see that you want to buy, by all means, just wait for the sales. You know, unless you're minted and you've got plenty of money, that is. But there is a lot of stuff to like in Train Sim World. There's a lot of nice routes. This is one of them, as you can see. This is why I wanted to run this one at least halfway down to Gatwick. We could perhaps run the second half of this on an upcoming live stream. We could actually do a full run, because I've not done a full run for some time. So there's an idea. But I like these routes where you come out of the, you know, the hustle and bustle of a capital city, and that includes anywhere we've been, Germany, even the German routes, and then you get out into this sort of, you know, more open countryside, rural sort of scene. I love that mix between that sort of, you know, busyness and this more casual, laid-back drive. It's not laid back. You've still got to manage the safety systems. You've still got to keep your, you know, your eye on what's going on. But it's quite chilled. It's quite relaxed. And we have to make sure that we're on time, because on this particular train, people are going to have flights to catch. So we don't want to make them late. That's for sure. And just as I say that and go out of the cab, of course it always happens, I miss one of the alarms and I don't acknowledge it. So it puts me in an emergency brake. Okay, so in this Looking Back review, we are also going to look at how to recover from an emergency stop in the Class 387 Gatwick Express. It's not a big problem on these units. So if we acknowledge that, you can see the brakes coming off the needle, and already we're rolling forward. So if we just apply power, then we're off again. Quite easy. So I think the noise of the train was so loud on the outside, I didn't hear it. It was probably the DSD that went off. It wasn't the AWS, because we're on greens. It was the DSD. So it's no big problem. So we got about just under 8 minutes to get people into Gatwick on time. and shortly we will be able to get up to 90. We've got a 90 going into an 80, back to a 90. But as you can see, I've got the full throttle on at the moment. We've got a slight downhill gradient. The speed's good, the acceleration's quite good on this unit. That was the DSD, by the way, that beeps at me. That's probably what we missed outside. You don't get long to acknowledge it. You've got to be quick. So, just over 5 miles. So, you know, I like to tell you what I think about these routes. I've said it before. I don't try to sell it to you. That's not my aim. I can only tell you what I think. And I've always thought this is a very good route. I don't think you can, if you like your UK stuff, I don't think you can go far wrong with this one. It's got speed. It's got a decent length of route. If you've already got the East Causeway, it's going to link up with the East Causeway via the route hopping that we've got in TSW 5. And you spend many hours on this one. Yeah, I wouldn't hesitate to recommend this one. There's so much to do. And this is a good route in TS Classic as well, by the way. Because I've played it there too. In fact, I played this one first in TSW because I'm obviously newer to TS Classic. And went back to the TS Classic version, and it's strange to see it in 2 games. And this is an excellent job, this one, in TSW. It looks good. It plays good, and it looks good. As I said, we are on the PC, but predominantly I'm playing on the PS5, and I've never had any issues with it on the console. So it's a pretty safe one, I would say. The weather, by the way, in case you're wondering, I've got it set to very early August. The dynamic weather is on, but I've got it set to clear. So the weather's not changed much since we left Victoria. But I thought to showcase the route a little bit better, we should probably have some clear weather. Normally when you fire up TSW, it will default to the same date that it is when you're playing the actual route. So it was giving me the end of September as at the time of recording, 26th of September, and it was a bit bleak, so I changed it to something a bit more, you know, a bit more happy. Right, 1.3 miles into Gatwick. So the other thing about Gatwick, of course, which hopefully we'll see, you do see the aircraft coming into land right across you. So we'll see if we can see any. If you look carefully, you may already start to see them because we're not that far from Gatwick, less than a mile. So there you go. There you go. Look at that. I don't actually know if that is the new Airbus because they got the license for the new Airbus. I don't know if they've been if that's been updated yet. Was that an Airbus, do you think? I certainly think if they haven't been updated, it will do. It will be updated. Right, we need to be down to a 30 just on the entrance to the station, so we're good for that. As you can see, there is Gatwick. A couple of 377s in there as well. I can hear another aircraft. There you go, look at that. That's got to be the new model aircraft. Maybe I didn't pay much attention before, and they're always that good. But this is Gatwick Airport. We've not done so bad. Look at that. We got, by the time we stop, we'll be a couple of minutes early. Everyone can get the suitcases off and get over to the airport and their onward flight. It's a pity we don't have a route hopping now to Flight Simulator, and we can take off at Gatwick and we can take them to Spain or wherever they're going. Let's not spad at the end of this platform, shall we? It's quite close to the red, actually, that. Wow, there we go, look at that. I think those are the upgraded airplanes. But that, everybody, was the Gatwick Express on the London Commuter, London Victoria to Brighton Mainline. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please do give me a thumbs up if you did. Try it out if you haven't tried it for a long time. If you haven't got it, then pick it up. Pick it up at the next sale. It's a good route. I don't think you'll be disappointed. So until next time, thanks again, everybody. Take care. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.